Hola, bon dia. Hi there, good morning. I am in Portugal, in northern Portugal, on a house sit and a dog and chicken sit. So our daily walks are through the woodland, which sort of feels, it's February, and it feels very much like going for a walk in the woods back home, say early autumn on a cloudy day, very mild. One of the reasons that I wanted to come at this time of year was that, everywhere seems wonderful when it's warm and sunny, but if you're thinking about living somewhere, you sort of need to know how it feels in the different seasons, when it's not so warm and not so sunny. And see if you like it then. If you like it. Right, so I'm staying on a beautiful homestead, and I'm looking after this doggy and chickens. And I'm not really filming anything very much there because the owners don't want their home, their location, their life filmed on social media by anybody apart from themselves, which is fair enough. So I'm just sort of going out and about a bit. Actually, I'm not going out and about very much. One reason will be in a video that's at the end of my stay here, which is provisionally called When Things Fall Apart, because I've had the stuffing knocked out of me a bit. Unfortunately, trying to sort of pull myself together and not be a wimp, but not really succeeding. But also, actually, because what I want to get out of this is the feeling of a sort of everyday life. If you've got a piece of land and a home, and you've got animals, and you're just pottering about doing those everyday things, which I'm sure there would be plenty, then, going about sightseeing isn't really on the agenda, and I didn't really want this to be a sightseeing trip. I want it to be a just living day to day. And I do have to say that, I just love waking up in the morning, opening the door, even though it is misty because it's up in the mountains and quite chilly in the mornings, and just walking around the land with our little doggy friend here. Where are you, Obi? Are you there somewhere? Where are you? Hello. Here we go. Trying to get a picture of Obi, but I'm failing dismally. Right, okay. I am paying a couple of visits to a town that is a little drive away called, I've been calling it Amaranta. I know that Portuguese isn't like Spanish, so you wouldn't say Amarante, but they do sort of pronounce the E on the end of words, but it's a sort of like a, sort of almost a swallowed. But a young lad who helps out here on the homestead, local lad, he says Amarant. That's it. So I'll just go with Amarant. Yeah, almost like that. But we do that at home, don't we? We sort of swallow words a bit. Like my hometown is Brighton. Now that's like a sort of midway of saying it. If you're coming to visit Brighton and you don't know it, you would probably say Brighton. But you'll get people in Brighton who'll go Brighton. So we do exactly the same thing. So it's sort of challenging when you're trying to learn a language. I'm just walking down through a field. Got like a building there, which is probably just like a store of some sort. Right, Obi, where are we going? Let's go down this way. So right behind where I'm staying, it backs straight onto woodland, and there are loads of walks. it's sort of a question of do you want to do the uphill bit first and come home on the downward bit, or to do the downward bit and then really suffer with your legs going uphill on the way back. So I've just come down a very steep downward slope, so that's going to be my final leg. Going up is going to be a very tough upward one. Right, heading downhill again, so that will be another uphill one on the way back. Yeah, so as I was saying, I want to have a look at a town called Amarant because it looks beautiful, and it's in the north, and the reason I'm considering the north as one option is probably because it's wet. It's certainly very, very rainy in the winter, but of course that means that it's greener, and it stays greener in the summer. I mean, not completely, you know, they suffer as much as anywhere in Portugal with lack of rain in the summer, but there's no shortage of water around at the moment. There are sort of little streams literally every foot. And yeah, here's another one. The amount of rain, it just basically breaks through everywhere. Every single possible space that it can get through in the land, it does. And you do get flooding, of course. But then, of course, the upside is, and Obi's enjoying a little drink. The upside, of course, is that it doesn't dry out totally in the summer. Looking at this. I'm completely losing track of what I'm saying here. So I'm here, you know, my intention is checking out this part of Portugal in the winter months, in the wet months, to see what it's like to live here. And Amarant is a town, probably, well, it's certainly the biggest town for, you know, quite a long way around. And it's beautiful. And now weather-wise, okay, so it's February the 13th. I have got a long sleeve t-shirt, then a hoodie, there somewhere, my hoodie, and then a sort of fleecy jacket. And now if I was at home right now and I went out in that, I would be freezing, absolutely freezing, especially as I think it's particularly cold at home right now. Overnight, yes, it does get cold. There hasn't been any frosts while I've been here, but they certainly do get frosts. But then, you know, the sun comes over the mountain and it burns it all off. And every morning since I've been here, it's been misty. I've got quite a lot of photos on my Instagram of misty mountain mornings. So if you're interested in having a look at some of those, then pop over to my Insta. The link should be, you know, there or there or wherever the links are. Okay. It's always a bit of a challenge, sort of talking on video when you're walking a dog. Because there was suddenly, he's really good actually, I must say, but even so, you know, he'll sort of go off at a tangent somewhere. I might see if I can film just a little bit of land. I think on this path, I've done this one once already. I think there's a nice sort of little homestead just up here. And if there is, I'll just turn the camera around and give you an idea. Right, which way are we going, Obi? Right, here's the property I was thinking of. You can see the roof of a small house just down there and a bit of the land. You can see it's all very sloped. And then just up here, a really fascinating tiny house that's been built right up against the boulder. Good insulation, I guess. And chances are, if you buy a property in most of Portugal, you're going to get an awful lot of boulders on your land. There's one just there, And then there's another big one down behind that tree over there, because it's all granite. And they have got actually a brilliant boundary wall here. It's in really good condition. Probably been there hundreds of years, and it's as solid as can be. And then gates to this property, so it obviously looks very well maintained. And just panning up to some of the villages that are in the mountains, and across the path that we're walking along. Just down the track here, there's an abandoned property, but actually it looks in pretty good nick. Doesn't look a bad size either. Could be 2 bedrooms. That roof, I don't know, it looks in fairly good condition, but you would probably want to replace it. You'd almost, well, absolutely certainly want to replace that roof on the smaller building down there. Not quite sure whether that is an outbuilding, like, meant for animals, or whether it was a second urban article, which means with permission to live there. But yep, that roof absolutely does need totally replacing. But again, the stone walls look pretty solid. We've got a breeze block wall there where it's been subdivided, but that could be taken out. And certainly the next one along there is a solid stone wall. Now I realised when we were walking back up that actually that house from the front, it's a lot bigger. It's actually 2-storey and sort of double fronted. It doesn't look at all like a traditional Portuguese house. Yeah, so it's significantly bigger. And here I'm just showing you the approach road, your lovely road. But there is an actual road, a proper road, just above there. Some more mountain villages. In front of that, I'm back in front of that old house again. And actually from here now, looking at it, I can see that it is a big property. At the front it's two floors. And here we have more mountains of the mountains. There are several villages dotted about up there. The hillsides are awash with the bright yellow of mimosa and the lovely scent of it as well. But unfortunately, it's incredibly invasive, and it's a real problem in Portugal. Right, that was a bit of an abrupt end there, and it was a bit of a sort of mishmash video, wasn't it? I'm sort of out of practice. I haven't made any videos for a few weeks. And there are the church bells. 4, 5, 6 o'clock. I hope you enjoyed that little sort of patchwork, I guess we can call it, of a video from northern Portugal, and I will see you soon. Ciao.